PodcastHero.com. You've got a complex topic for your next podcast episode. Let's say that it's the ethics of AI in healthcare. You don't just need facts and statistics. You need to explore multiple perspectives, anticipate counter-arguments, and create a thoughtful discussion that respects the complexity of the issue. ChatGPT gives you quick, efficient answers. Perplexity gives you current cited research. But what about when you need an AI that can think through complex problems with you, not just for you? What if you had a research partner that excels at nuanced thinking and creative exploration? Welcome back to PodTools. I'm Andrew McGivern, and today we're exploring Claude AI and why it might become your favorite creative partner for complex podcast content. We've covered the speed of ChatGPT, the organization power of NotebookLM, and the real-time capabilities of Perplexity. Claude AI fills a different role. It's the thoughtful analyst, the creative brainstormer, and the nuanced thinker in your AI toolkit. Today, I'll show you when and why Claude AI outshines other tools for specific podcasting tasks that require deeper thinking and more sophisticated analysis. Imagine you're planning a series about the future of work. You don't just want to list trends, you want to explore the tensions between different perspectives, anticipate how various stakeholders might react, and create episodes that genuinely help your audience think through these complex changes. You could ask ChatGPT for a list of topics, and you'd get solid suggestions. But with Claude AI, you could have a planning conversation. You could say, help me think through the unintended consequences of remote work policies, and what questions would help my audience navigate these trade-offs thoughtfully. Claude AI doesn't just give you answers. It helps you think better about the questions themselves. That's the difference between information and insight. First, let's talk about Claude's strength with complex, nuanced topics. Claude AI excels when you're dealing with subjects that don't have simple answers. Ethics, philosophy, complex social issues, or anything with multiple legitimate perspectives. Instead of asking for basic information, you can engage Claude in analytical thinking. Try something like, help me explore the different ways people might interpret the concept of work-life balance and what underlying assumptions each perspective makes. Claude might respond by breaking down cultural differences, generational perspectives, socioeconomic factors, and philosophical approaches, giving you a framework for a much richer discussion than just tips and tricks. This is especially powerful for interview preparation when your guest is an expert in a complex field. Claude can help you understand not just what the debates are, but why people hold different positions and what the deeper principles are at stake. You're not just getting information, you're getting analysis that helps you ask more thoughtful questions. The second capability is creative brainstorming and content development. Claude AI seems particularly strong at creative tasks that require both imagination and logical structure. This makes it excellent for developing unique episode concepts, creative storytelling approaches, and innovative content formats. You might say, I want to create a podcast episode that helps people understand blockchain technology, but I'm tired of the usual explanations. Help me brainstorm creative approaches that would make this accessible and engaging. Claude might suggest formats like exploring blockchain through historical analogies, creating a fictional scenario, examining it through different professional lenses, or building the explanation around common misconceptions. Claude also excels at helping you think through narrative structure. If you're planning a storytelling episode or a complex multi-part series, Claude can help you organize information in ways that create natural narrative flow and maintain audience engagement throughout. This creative collaboration often leads to episode ideas you never would have considered on your own. And the third strength of Claude is refining and improving your content with sophisticated feedback. Claude AI can analyze your existing content, episode outlines, show notes, or even full transcripts, and provide thoughtful suggestions for improvement. You could share your episode outline and ask, what perspectives or counterarguments am I missing? What questions might my audience have that I haven't addressed? Or how could I restructure this content to create a more compelling narrative arc? Claude often identifies gaps in logic, suggests transitions that improve flow, and points out assumptions that might need explanation. It's like having an editor who understands both content and audience psychology. This is particularly valuable when you're tackling controversial or sensitive topics. Claude can help you anticipate how different audience segments might react and suggest ways to present information that's both honest and respectful of different viewpoints. You can also use Claude to help adapt the same content for different audiences or even formats, taking a technical episode and making it accessible for beginners or extracting key insights for social media content. Let me show you this in action with a concrete example. Let's say you're planning an episode about the impact of social media on mental health, a topic with lots of research, but also lots of conflicting perspectives. You could ask Claude, help me think through this topic in a way that avoids both the social media is evil and social media is harmless extremes. What nuanced questions would help my audience think about their own relationship with social media more thoughtfully? Claude might respond with questions about individual differences, context-dependent effects, the distinction between different types of social media use, and how factors like age, personality, and life circumstances influence outcomes. Then you could follow up. How could I structure an episode that helps listeners develop their own framework for evaluating these trade-offs, rather than just telling them what to think? This kind of collaborative thinking often leads to episode concepts that are both original and more genuinely helpful for your audience. Here are some advanced ways to use Claude for podcast development. The perspective multiplier. Help me understand how this topic looks from the viewpoint of different stakeholders: consumers, businesses, regulators, and activists. The assumption challenger. What assumptions am I making about this topic that I should question or explain to my audience? The connection finder. What unexpected connections exist between topic A and topic B that could create an interesting episode angle? The depth developer. Share a basic episode idea and ask, how could I add more layers of depth and nuance to this topic without making it overwhelming? The format innovator. What creative formats or approaches could make this complex topic more engaging and more memorable for my audience? And a pro tip, Claude seems to work best when you engage it in conversation rather than just asking for lists. Thinking of it as brainstorming with a thoughtful colleague rather than querying a database. Here's why Claude AI might become essential to your podcasting toolkit. In a world of quick answers and surface-level content, thoughtful analysis stands out. Your audience doesn't just want information, they want insight. They want to understand not just what's happening, but why it matters and how to think about it. Claude AI helps you move beyond information delivery to genuine thought leadership. It's particularly valuable when you're dealing with complex, nuanced topics where your goal is to help people think better, not just know more. The key is knowing when to use it. For quick research, use ChatGPT. For current events, use Perplexity. For organizing information, use NotebookLM. But when you need to think deeply, explore complexity, or develop creative approaches, Claude AI is your partner. Your homework this week? Pick a complex topic you've been wanting to explore on your podcast. Spend 20 minutes having a brainstorming conversation with Claude. Ask it to help you think through the topic rather than just research it. That's PodTools for this week. If this changes how you approach complex content planning, Share it with another podcaster who's ready to go beyond surface-level discussions. Next week, we're diving into Grok and Meta AI, the social media native AI platforms that can help you tap into trending topics and audience insights. Until then, keep your thinking deep and your insights original. And I'll see you again on the next PodTools.